All right. Hey, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. All right. You probably noticed I'm all alone. Yes, yes. Lisa has some other stuff to do today, but the show does not stop. And so I am here um, to talk to you today about this topic that we have, which is now really the right time. So my name's Dione Branch with Allure Dream Homes, and this is the Chicago Home Buyer Show, and uh, where Chicago and Indiana buyers get their answers. All right, so um, I think this is for us to have just like this a one-on-one conversation, because the question I hear most often every day is, Dion, should I buy? Should I buy now? Should I buy now? Should I wait? And maybe you thinking waiting is about the rates, is about waiting is for the price, waiting until what the elections is over, like, or maybe just waiting because buying a home just kind of feels what basically overwhelming, because I don't know how many people I talk to about when I do my workshop about, are you scared, are you do you feel overwhelmed? So these are the questions that really I address all the time. And so today's a good time. If you're here and you're watching the show, you can always just put something in the chat just to let me know you're here, and I definitely love to answer some of your questions that you might have, because this is our one-on-one time together. So tonight we're just going to answer one simple question, right? Is now really the time for you to buy? So, because the answer actually is not the same for everybody, it depends on you, right? So, let's talk about, what are some of the things that determines whether it's the right time for you or not. So, you know, people often believe that there's like this magical moment when they should buy. So the homes are cheap, the rate is low, inventory is high, uh, competition disappears. Like, we think all these things are, some of these or one of these things is going to happen, and then it's going to be boom, it's going to be right time. But the reality is that that moment rarely exists, right? We were in a pandemic when the interest rates were really low. So pandemics don't happen every day. So when people are, oh, I'm going to wait for the interest rate to go low, yeah, not sure what you're waiting for. So because when the rates go low, everybody wants to buy. It makes it so much difficult for you to buy a house. During that time, there were lines of people that were outside of a home trying to all see the same one home, trying to all place a bid on that same one home. So that didn't help, right? When the prices kind of go lower, they soften up, right? What happens is inventory shrinks as well. People don't want to put their house on the market if they can't get the value for their house. So then they decide to just hold and not actually put their house on the market as well, right? So when homes become more affordable, right, the competition normally increases. Like I said, like, people are lined up down the street trying to all see the same house. So every market has its advantages, and then they also have their disadvantages as well. So the goal isn't about timing the market. It's about timing your life. Is it the right time for me? Right. So let's ask, instead of asking, is this a good market? You should probably ask yourself these questions, right? Am I financially stable? Do I have the money in order to purchase the house? Am I secure in my job? Things like that, right? Do I plan to stay at least 3 to 5 years? So that's in the beginning of you purchasing a home, you really don't have much equity in your home. And so if you decide to sell within that first year, it's a little bit more difficult, because depending on um, kind of the market of the house, you could find yourself kind of owing more than actually getting something back. So it's really good to stay in the house at least 3 to 5 years, and so then that way you've built a little equity in the home. Unless it's a like an investment area where it's up and coming, you might be able to get some additional money out of your property a lot sooner rather than later. Are you tired of renting? Right, giving your money to the landlord? Are you tired of that? Is Has my family outgrown the current house? And a lot of times you might find yourself, oh, I'm pregnant, I have another child. We only bought this 3 bedroom house, and now we have 5 children. Oh, maybe we need to upgrade, right? So am I ready for the responsibilities of ownership? And so I think we've talked about that maybe last week, like what it takes in order to actually own a home. So cutting the lawn, making sure that your furnace is working, your air conditioning is working, and then also keeping up the maintenance, and upgrading your house too, because that you definitely want to make sure you stay on top of the house, right? So and keeping it updated. So um, people think waiting costs nothing, right? So a lot of times people are saying, hey, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till the interest rate goes down. I'm going to wait for this. I'm going to wait for that. And that actually is not a good plan. So waiting actually does have a price associated with it, right? So let's say you're paying $1,800, maybe $2,200, $2,800 every month in rent. That money has is gone forever. It's not that, it's not going to a savings. You're just giving it to somebody else. So maybe home prices rise another 3%. So maybe they stay flat. But nobody knows, right? Nobody really knows how the market is in store. So, but one thing that we do know, right, is that you are giving your money uh, on a monthly basis to the landlord, and you are increasing their wealth, not yours. So it's really important when you're sitting back saying, oh, I'm waiting. Why? Why are you waiting? And, you know, maybe you should really like talk to us about why you're waiting, because maybe there's solutions that we may have that, or I could have, that will resolve the issue that you think is an issue. Some people don't even know you define your own issues, and there may not actually be an issue at all. So I've worked with many buyers, right? And I've talked to a lot of people that say, oh, I'm gonna wait. So I had a couple, they waited for at least 2 years because they thought the price would crash. I have a lot of people like this. Oh, I'm gonna wait. But instead, what happened is, their rent increased, their savings stayed the same because you're saying that I'm going to save my money, but you really actually don't do anything to save any additional money. And the homes become slightly more expensive, right? So, especially if you think about it, each year, the prices of the houses are going up in different neighborhoods. So, what you might have been able to afford, I see it all the time. We have $185,000 was kind of like the standard price you could get a nice home, excuse me, move in ready, and then you wait. So now 185 just getting a nice home, a starter home is really actually not the price anymore. Now it's like 225, 250 because it all of this depends on the neighborhood, but the prices of the houses have gone up because people have come in, they've done more investing in the maybe in the different neighborhoods. They've so more people are buying, and then as they're buying, they might be buying above market because they have some competition on their bid, and so then they overbid what the price is, and so then that just makes so now three houses have overbid. So now, as a listing agent, I could come in and I list at a higher price because now I have some comparables that shows that properties can sell at a higher price. So this is what happens continuously. So while you're waiting, the prices are just going up and up and up. So basically you lost because life kept moving ahead. So I don't, if you're thinking that maybe I'm ready or but there's this one thing that's holding me back, let's talk about that one thing. Let's have that conversation to know, what that one thing is, and then we can talk about it. So um some home changes more than your finance, right? So a home changes more than your finances do, right? So they're saying like homes changes your life. A home can change your life. Maybe you're getting married. They're saying maybe you're having a child. Maybe you're working from home. A lot of that has changed, and so a lot of people now need an office. When I'm working with people and they're looking for a house, oh, I work from home 2 days a week, or I don't go into the office at all anymore, so I need an extra room just for my office. I need an office, my husband needs an office, and then we need rooms for the kids, right? So maybe you simply want your own backyard. Buying isn't always finding an investment. So sometimes it's about creating stability, right? It's about freedom, um, and it's about finally having a place that you feel it feels like it's your own. So those things don't show up on the mortgage calculator when you're trying to figure out like what how much this house is going to be. The house is actually worth a lot because it's worth peace of mind. It's worth more space. Your home is actually worth a whole lot. So um, let's talk about some signs that you're ready. So, and remember, if you have any questions, go ahead, put it in the chat. I'm watching. I can answer any questions that you may have. But let's say three signs that says that you're ready. So the first one is, um, you know roughly what you can um, comfort, comfort, comfortably afford, right? So what's comfortable for you, right? So not what the bank says. So um, this is happens when you get your pre-approval. The bank is gonna tell you, hey, we looked at all your finances and everything, and we believe that you can afford a home for $500,000. But realistically, you like to travel, you have kids, and they go to a private school, and so you have to pay tuition, or you have kids in daycare. So I don't know if I want to really spend $500,000 be house broke, and then because I still have all these other expenses. So know what you feel comfortable with, and then so you don't have to purchase what the lender says that you can purchase. You purchase what's comfortable for you, right? So another sign that says that you're ready is that you built some savings, right? So enough money for three things. The earnest money. So earnest money is due at the beginning of the transaction. I normally tell people at the beginning of the transaction, you need you need at least about $2,000. And one of the things is earnest money, because the earnest money is kind of you have a contract, and this is my money that I'm putting down that says that I'm a serious buyer. And a lot of times we can just put $1,000 down for earnest money, or you might want to put more money down because there's a couple of people bidding on the same house, and you want to show them that you're a serious buyer. So you're willing to put 3,000, 5,000 down. And so that helps you also during your negotiations. So one of the things is earnest money. When you're thinking about building your savings, how much earnest money do I want to put down? The other one is inspections. When you've under contract and it's time for you to do an inspection on your home. Some people say, should I do an inspection? Yes, yes, you should. Everybody should do a home inspection, no matter if you're investors and they're going in and rehabbing the property. Their inspection is a little different than your inspection. They're going to bring some contractors in and they're going to inspect and see what changes they're going to do. But you, as a home buyer, and you're moving in, you should always know what's this house about. What is this house about? Is the how old is the furnace? How old is the roof? Is there any problems? And then once you discover what those problems are, because the inspector has given you a list, you can decide, am I okay with living with these issues, or do I need to give up this property? Is there cracks in the foundation? And this seems concerning. The garage is leaning to the side. Do I really want this house with this garage? Because I know that I might have to actually tear it down and put a new garage up. Is the roof new or older? Is it at the end? And I'm going to end up having to put $20,000 or ten to $20,000 for a new roof. So those are the things. Those things you can ask the seller to actually repair some of those things during the inspection, but you want to do the inspection in order to find that out. And for a single family home, a home inspection normally costs around $400 to $600. Okay, so now let's say we're up to $1,600 for the beginning, and then you need moving expenses. How am I going to move out of my old house into my new house? How I'm going to move from my condo to my new house? And so there's a moving truck service that you need. Am I going to just call all my friends and ask them to come over and move my stuff for me? That's a cheaper way, but you better be ready to feed all those people that you have moving you all around and stuff. So that's still an expense that you have to pay, because they don't work for free. They want something. They want a meal at least afterwards. Please feed them. Right. So, and then another thing which I didn't mention, which is the appraisal. The appraisal costs around $700. And so we talked about the home inspection is for you and the appraisal is for the bank. And so you need at least, a lot of times we say you need at least about $5,000 in order to begin your home buying process and have enough saved. So um, you don't have to be rich, right? You just simply need to plan how you're going to save this money and put it to the side. And once you get to that amount, you can definitely go ahead and be able to start purchasing. So, number three, are you ready to stay put? A lot of people like to move every year. Oh, I stayed in this house a little while, this apartment a little while. I want to move to somewhere else, and that might be your style of living. So now you're thinking about buying a house. You have to be ready to say, "Hey, am I really ready to stay in this house and not actually um, move again within a few years?" So that's something that you really need to know. So make sure that you're ready to at least stay in your property for at least 3 to 5 years. All right. So let's see. All right. We've been here a minute. So one thing I do want to leave you with is don't let fear make your decisions. Make sure you give us a call. Talk to us about the home buying process, and we can definitely help you. So don't let social media make your decisions. I don't know how many different um, things, posts that I've seen. They've kind of stopped, like waiting for the interest rate to go down. Things like that. Talk to the professionals. Make sure you're talking to someone that's actually knowledgeable in the area and can assist you with your plan. So just don't talk to social media. All right. Um, don't don't let your coworker, your cousin, your aunt, your uncles, your bartender, right? The barber, right? Like, don't let them make your decision, because a lot of times what happens is we even may talk to our parents who have purchased a home 20, 30 years ago. Their experience is going to be different from your experience, for sure, right? The person who purchased the house just a few months ago, who told you, "Oh, girl, I didn't put no money down. I didn't have to do anything. It didn't cost me nothing." Don't talk to them about your decision, because sometimes what they're telling you is really not all factual. You don't tell your friends all your business. And the other thing is, what is happened for them may be different for you. Um, and even if they had a bad experience, their bad experience does not have to be your experience. There's something that was related specifically towards them, towards their house that they purchased. So it doesn't really relate to you. And so you should not make your decision based on someone else. So every buyer has a different story. That's why, I spend time learning about your goals before we even get started. We have what I call is a buyer consultation, and we talk about what you're looking for. How many bedrooms, how many baths? Are you looking for a certain school district because of your kids? uh, all these different things, criterias are different for you, based on different from what your friends were doing. So the right time to buy isn't determined by the market, okay? And it's determined by your life, and you are the one that makes the decision of whether it's the right time or not. So, so if you're wondering whether the time is right for you, I'll say, as always, let's have a conversation. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm going to try to share my phone number here. Um, you can always get in touch with me at 773-819-6092, right? So let's have a conversation, and I can help you with understand what you can afford, what buying should actually cost, um, what your opinions are, and whether waiting truly makes sense for you. Right. So I would say I ask you to comment ready below, or just send me a direct message and I can, get back with you. I also, if you comment ready, I want to send you one of our guides. It's called the Chicago Home Buyers Readiness Checklist. Okay. And don't worry about it. If you want to purchase in Indiana, don't worry about the title, but it's called the Chicago Readiness Home Buyers Checklist. And I'm going to send you this free guide, and it's going to help you determine whether you're prepared to purchase or not. And so, and in that guide, there'll be a questionnaire. There's going to be some financial checklist readiness, credit readiness. So do me a favor, just comment ready below so I can definitely send you that information. Um, so, if you found today's episode helpful, I ask you to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're seeing this on Facebook, you can always come over to the YouTube channel so to get notified when the new episode is coming up, or make sure you join our Facebook business page, Chicago Home Buyer Show. And then we can talk, more about it. So my name again is Dione Branch with Allure Dream Homes, and I really thank you for watching and taking some the time to talk with me. And please remember, you can always ask me any questions. You could give me a call, and I'm here to help you. I service Chicago and also Northwest Indiana. For purchasing homes. So Chicago suburbs, all the surrounding suburbs, and Indiana is my areas. And I am here for you if you need any help. So thank you. Thank you for joining. I'm so excited that I was able to come here today and talk to you. Lisa will be back next week. And so we'll still have all our fun topics that we talk about every week for you. And so, bye. I'll see you later.